The 500 Smith and Wesson Magnum revolver, an awesome gun and an awesome gun to shoot. But there is a danger. I'm going to show you the danger. I'm going to show you how to avoid the danger, and then I'm going to explain what's going on. All right, let's get going. Here is a video clip that we are going to watch, and to the YouTube censors out there, this video clip is being used under the fair use doctrine for purposes of education.
Squeeze the trigger.
Oh.
What happened?
Why did you do that?
So the gun fires twice, and there's confusion at the end. You hear a guy off camera ask, "What happened?" And then the young woman asks, "Why did it do that?" So obviously a very dangerous situation whenever a gun fires when you don't want it to. Now keep in mind, the gun here is not malfunctioning. It's working perfectly well, and I'll explain to you what's going on when we get to the part of this video where I get into the mechanics of this double fire. But for now, let's get into how do you prevent this. Right about now, some of you might be thinking, oh, I have the solution to prevent this from happening. Just don't let newbies shoot that gun. Video over. Okay, I understand that logic, and I am not arguing against it. What I am going to say is I don't think we need to be that harsh gatekeeper in this instance. Think of it this way. The opportunity to shoot these hand cannons it can be a pretty rare one for the majority of people. I propose that instead of denying them the opportunity to fire the hand cannon, let them fire the hand cannon, but have them do it safely. So how do you do that? Simple. Load only one round in the gun. So one round goes in one chamber, all the other chambers are empty. Only one live round means only one shot goes off, therefore eliminating the possibility of a double fire. So what is going on with that double fire? Well, I will explain it to you with an empty gun. Keep in mind that the double fire you saw in that video clip was with a fully functional gun. So it was not the gun's fault, it was the user's fault. This was user error. So when you go to shoot the gun, your brain is sending a signal to your trigger finger to pull the trigger. All right, nothing out of the ordinary there. No surprises yet. Now, your hand is not welded to your gun. This is going to be important here because when the recoil on this gun is so harsh, it's going to accelerate faster than your hand. Okay, it's going to come back to you. All right, and the only thing attaching you to your gun is your grip strength. Okay, so in other words, if you don't have a good grip on this gun, the gun's going to accelerate, break your grip, okay, and you're gonna come away from the gun a little bit. Even if you hold on to the gun, this is what happens if you don't have good grip strength. So your brain is telling your finger, pull the trigger. Gun recoils heavily, accelerates faster than your hand, breaks the grip on your hand just enough, and your finger comes off the trigger, therefore allowing the trigger to reset. Now your brain is still sending the signal to your finger to pull the trigger. So guess what? Even though your finger came off the trigger, okay, it's not because you let off of it intentionally. It's because you were physically unable to keep the gun in your hand. So as far as your brain is concerned, your brain is still sending that signal to do this. And so you fire a second time. It's not because you pulled the trigger twice. It's because you're pulling it, and then the gun pulled away from your hand because you lost your grip on it. So you unintentionally reset the trigger. And then basically your hand catches back up to the gun, and functionally you pull it again. So get it? Hopefully you understood that. Let's go through it again. So You pull the trigger, you're still pulling the trigger, but the gun is recoiled enough and your grip was weak enough that the trigger came off, or your finger came off the trigger, therefore allowing the trigger to reset. And then when your hand catches back up to the gun, effectively you've pulled the trigger again. But in your brain, you're pulling the trigger only once. And you have to remember, all this happens basically in the blink of an eye. So, for those of you thinking you've got good reflexes, if I ever felt myself losing grip on the gun, I'll know to let my finger off. No, you're not going to have time. Your reflexes are not that quick. And there you have it. Now you know about the hand cannon double fire, what causes it, and how to avoid it. So go out there and shoot your hand cannon and do it safely. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys next time.